So, off the success of Pirates of the Caribbean in 2003, Disney thought of doing yet another theme park based movie. And this time it was on the Haunted Mansion. And, show of hands who all likes the movie? Wait, it's just me? Okay. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, your mind's Toxic Gamble through the new one. Back at it with another video, and today I'm going to be reviewing, if you couldn't tell by the intro, the 2003 movie Haunted Mansion, based off the ride at Disney World. And why I decided to review this is because the new movie's coming out this week, and I will be seeing it tomorrow. So I thought to myself, why not review the Haunted Mansion from 2003? But before we get into the actual video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 300 subscribers. Just 45 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. It also goes for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to like the video if you like my toxic movie reviews. Don't forget to ring the bell for all notifications so notification will upload. Also do share the video because also, man, we can have some more people join the toxic fam. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on the Haunted Mansion 2003 down below. But before we get into actual review, let's give a quick plot synopsis, shall we? So transition on Shazam. Workaholic real estate agent Jim Evers is accused by his wife, Sarah, of neglecting his son and daughter. So he takes the family on a vacation. Along the way, the family stops off at a sinister mansion that Jim has been asked to sell, only to discover it's haunted by Master Gracie, and his stern butler Ramsley, and two other servants who need some help breaking a curse. And yes, I am the one to admit it, I actually like this movie. And I've grown up on it for years. And I think I've rewatched this movie like at least over 30 times. So, yeah, with that being... No, not even 30. I think I might have watched it like over almost 50 times. So, that explains how much I've watched this movie. But I don't think I've but after this recent rewatch, I still like it. But I do see its obvious flaws because I used to watch this movie all the time as a kid. So as a kid, you don't really understand the flaws or anything. So, yeah. With that being said, let's just go into the actual review. So, starting off with the positives for this movie, the Terrence Stamp as Ramsey, as the main, like, the butler, as I was talking about. He is a very intimidating butler in this movie. And Terrence Stamp, I've seen before from, as General Zod in Superman 2, and some of Superman 1. And I think he's a very talented actor. Oh, and he was also in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, too. But in this one especially, I think he's a very intimidating villain, or intimidating ghost, if you will. And whenever he pops up, the air gets taken out of the room. And there's some funny moments with his character that, like, where he just suddenly pops up and then Eddie Murphy puts a joke. I think those parts are pretty funny. Okay, another positive is I think this is actually one of the best parts of the whole movie. It is the opening credits. I thought the opening credits was really great. It's about a romance between the owner of the household and basically what happened to him. And it's kind of a quick trope of a gothic romance, and I think it uses it to its full extent quite well in this film. And I think that opening is a great opening, and I think I just needed to point that out. Also, another positive, The humor here for this movie still lands quite a lot, and that is, of course, by the hands of Eddie Murphy. Or on the hand, I don't know what the right phrasing of the word is, but the humor is coming from mostly Eddie Murphy's character, which is the main character, and I think most of the humor in this lands for the most part. There's some humor points that go like, that didn't really make me chuckle or anything, but most of the humor does land here. And also, another positive is the cast. The cast is mostly trying here. They're mostly act very great in their act decently in their roles, especially as I mentioned before. Terrence Stamp as Ramsley was really great. And what other stuff? There's these two ghosts that are kind of that I mentioned in the plot synopsis. The one of them's played by the voice of Rex from Toy Story, and I thought them two were used decently in here and were quite memorable characters. What other and then bringing Eddie Murphy into the fold was, I think, he is a good actor. So yeah. But we'll get back to talking about his character in a little bit. Also, for a PG-13 like Disney horror / comedy movie, the ick factor during some certain scenes in this, you do feel the ick factor. Like there's one scene in particular, I'm not gonna spoil it here, but it used to freak me out as a kid. It's basically Eddie Murphy's character goes into a room that by himself, basically, with mirrors, and then there's a crow or whatever. It's very freaky, and I always had to have my dad fast forward that part when I was a kid. So, and I don't really understand that now. It's not that scary when you get older, but still, it is a very ick factor scene. And then there's also a bunch of stuff. So the main kid, Eddie Murphy's main kid in this film, has a fear of spiders, and then there's a certain scene here too that with some certain spiders that are really creepy. So I thought that was pretty good with its ick factor, not it factor, ick factor. Also, them using the same themes from the Haunted Mansion ride, I'm glad they kept some of that. They mostly use some of their own music for this, but I'm glad they kept some of the same music from the original ride at Disney World and incorporated it into this movie. Also, another positive is some of the side ghosts. As I mentioned, there's two little ghosts that are trying to get free too. And then there's also other ghosts that appear too. For example, you have Jennifer Tilly. Oh, I forgot to mention that. Jennifer Tilly is in here as Madame Leota. And for those who do not know her, she is actually Tiffany, Chucky's girlfriend from the Child's Play movies. So that's pretty interesting. And it was pretty funny when I got older because rewatching this now, I was going like, isn't that Jennifer Tilly? And then it for sure was, and I never knew that before, so that was pretty funny. And then also another positive side ghosts in here are the little statues or whatever, the head statues or whatever in the graveyard, where they sing the swinging wake and begin to vocalize. Yeah, I don't know the full song anymore. It's been a while since I've been at Disney World. Okay, so but they always get a crack out of my dad. So yeah, they're funny too. And then as for the final positive is the music created for this movie. I think most of the music in this that is created from them, like just for the movie, not from the actual ride, is actually quite great in this film. I don't think it's on the level of the music that was brought from the ride, but I think it's still good enough music. All right. But with that being said, that is all the positives for this movie. Now, going forward, now let's go into the mixed. And then I do have some the bad as well. So, yeah. All right, let's go into the mixed. Eddie Murphy's main character is just him basically playing the comedic character that usually is in his comedic movies. It's basically just him in a movie, and it's not really, he doesn't give the character a distinct, how do I say this? He doesn't give a distinct main character, if you get my drift. But why it's in the mix is because I think the character is still funny, and I think it's still funny that Eddie Murphy's in sort of this sort of scenario. But it's, then again, just Eddie Murphy in the movie, technically, if you take away the main character's name. So, yeah. Also, another mix is the jump scares. There's only, with the exception of that one jump scare I was talking about with Eddie Murphy and the mirror room or whatever, that character, I don't think any of the other, maybe like the beginning jump scare, but all the other jump scares in here, some of them land, some of them don't land, so that's why it goes into the mixed tier. Another mixed aspect is the main kids. I don't think they're really likable characters, but they do stuff in this that kind of give them a little bit of an arc, but you don't really care about them as much as some other characters in this. And also, I think the kids were trying their best. They're starting to when they were filming this, they were starting to learn their experience as an actor, or was starting to grow as an actor. So when you obviously grow, you become more better at the job you do, right? So, yeah. And then also another mix is the final act in this movie. I will not spoil it here, but I think it's a fine final act, but it's just not anything really special for me, and it wasn't that special coming around the last time which I watched it, which was yesterday. So that is all the mix. Now let's move on to the bad of this movie, shall we? Alright, so the bad. The motivation behind the main ghosts is a repetitive villain motivation from a bunch of different movies. So, the villain motive of Ramsley in this is kind of a plot line we've seen a bunch of times, where basically a person doesn't want their either son-like or daughter-like figure to be with the other person or whatever, so they find up with a convenient plan to stop that happening. So it's kind of a motive we've seen before. Alright, now let's move on to the bad. I already said let's move on to the bad. Let's move on to another bad. That's what I meant to say. So, the CGI. There's some shots that look good with the CGI, but mostly besides that, the CGI is pretty meh. So in this movie, it's not the worst CGI I've ever seen, but I think they could have done a little bit better with it. But then again, this is 2003, so they didn't have any mind-bending visuals at the time, if you get my drift. What other stuff? Also, another bad is there's one scene where a character survives a fall and there would be no way that they would survive. So, if you know what I'm talking about, there's the how do I say this without going into spoilers? Because I do recommend this. I think it is a little bit better than it gets credit for, but someone gets thrown out the house by the ghost, and they have a bunch of brutal falls, and they walk out unscathed, not with much damage to them, which you go, yeah, he would become a ghost then too, but yeah. But besides that, guys, alright, I might be the only one that likes this movie, but let's bring out the toxic meter, and I will give this a toxic goodness, and I will give it this score is going to be tough to judge, but I'll give it after a rewatch, I'll give it a B-, another B- of mine. So, with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed my review of Haunted Mansion 2003. But before we get to actual ending of the video itself, guys, be sure to stick around for tomorrow, because my out of the theater reaction of Haunted Mansion should be coming out later that day, and also my review of Haunted Mansion 2023 should be out on Thursday, so be on the lookout for that. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the wait, no, I have to do my before we get to actual ending of the video itself, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we're on the road to 300 subscribers. Just 45 away now. Really help out your boy if you did subscribe. That also goes for people that have been watching my channel for a while and haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to like the video if you like my toxic review reviews. Don't forget to ring the bell for all notifications and notification while upload. Also, do share the video, because it also help me out. We can have some more people join the toxic fam. And do feel free to comment your thoughts of Haunted Mansion 2003 down below. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one, everybody. Peace.